From your drama-free true crime destination, this is Verdict Watch from BETHEA'S BYTE Reloaded. And a good Thursday afternoon, everybody. Welcome to BETHEA'S BYTE Reloaded Verdict Watch. I'm Ernest Bethea, the last outlaw. The first phase of the Take Care of Maya civil trial is in the books, and I say first phase for a reason, because of the verdict. Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital has been found liable for all claims. I repeat, Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital has been found liable for all claims. What I'm reading right now is courtesy of Court TV. After deliberating for just over 16 hours, over 3 days, a Florida jury has come to the conclusion that a hospital's actions led to a mother's suicide. Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital has been found liable for all civil claims in the Take Care of Maya trial. Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital was found liable for the following: false imprisonment of Maya Kowalski, battery of Maya Kowalski, fraudulent billing of Jack Kowalski, inflicting most emotional distress on Beata Kowalski, wrongful death claim for the estate of Beata Kowalski, and intentionally inflicting emotional distress on Maya Kowalski. As you all know, the Maya Kowalski, whose story has been viewed by millions in the Netflix documentary Take Care of Maya, took the stand briefly on Tuesday outside of the jury's presence to authenticate a letter she wrote to her family while she was separated from them. Jack Kowalski, on behalf of his children Maya and Kyle and the estate of his late wife Beata, filed the lawsuit against Johns Hopkins All Children's Medical Center, which treated his children beginning in 2015. Kowalski said the hospital's treatment and accusations of child abuse against Beata led her to take her own life in January of 2017. Opening statements in the case began on September 21st. The prosecution accused the hospital of medical malpractice, battery, Maya's false imprisonment, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and alleged fraud. The attorney representing the hospital said in his opening statement that actions taken by Johns Hopkins were reasonable and in the best interest of the patient. While the lawsuit was initially filed against multiple people, an eighth amended complaint filed on January 24, 2023, listed only the hospital and Catherine Beatty, a social worker, as defendants. A filing on Monday, after jury selection had already started, removed Beatty as a defendant. According to the lawsuit, Maya was initially admitted to Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in July 2015 for a severe asthma attack and began experiencing severe pain and significant weakness. In September 2015, Maya was diagnosed with complex regional pain syndrome, or CRPS, a neuropathic disease generally caused by damage to or malfunction of the central nervous system, according to the suit. To treat the diagnosis, Maya was given ketamine infusion treatments, which caused her symptoms to steadily improve. In October 2016, Maya began to experience abdominal pain and vomiting. She was taken back to All Children's Medical Center for treatment. Beata was with her daughter and asked for Maya to be given the appropriate dosages of pain medications she needed. Quote, upon information and belief, certain JHACH personnel, despite their unfamiliarity with treating CRPS and despite Dr. Hannah's corroboration of Beata and Jack's relaying of the recommended CRPS treatments, became offended and defensive by the suggestions given by the mother, a registered IV nurse, and father, a retired Chicago firefighter. Almost immediately, Defendants, and especially Deborah Hanson, a social worker employed by JHACH, reported Beata to DCF, Child Abuse Hotline, claiming that Beata was interfering with Maya's treatment and there was a disagreement about dosages of ketamine, end quote. According to that lawsuit, despite DCF finding valid prescriptions for the dosages of ketamine on file and JHACH being told to close the investigation, the hospital then tried to fight Jack and Beata when they tried to remove Maya from the hospital. At that point, the suit alleges, the hospital brought in Dr. Sally Smith, who was introduced as a pediatrician, but was in fact the hospital's director of child abuse and was improperly granted access to Maya's medical record in order to build a case of child abuse against the family, quote, end quote. Another quote states, upon information and belief, Dr. Smith directly and or indirectly issued orders to JHACH physicians and staff, such as isolating Maya, covertly surveying Maya by video for a period of approximately 48 hours, ordering a regime of physical therapy, issuing directions to wean Maya off pain medications, and placing restrictions on the Kowalski's visitation rights within JHACH, end quote. I could go on and on with this, but all I know is right now, ladies and gentlemen, that this is something that may take a little bit more, but at last check. Oh, let me go and say good afternoon to Baby Kisses. How you doing? Yeah, I'm glad you're excited about this too, but you may be excited for this more. This is what I wanted to mention. Released by the jury standards from what the way they've ruled on this. The Kowalski family has been awarded over $200 million. They have been awarded over $200 million, but they're also going into phase 2 right now, as I've mentioned, which is the punitive damages phase. That's the portion, ladies. That's the portion of the case. Yeah, that is amazing. I was stunned by it myself. That's the portion of the case to where the judge is going to hear more arguments and finally put an end to this thing by deciding exactly how much to award the Kowalski family. He could side totally with the jury. He could side side with the defendants, or somehow try to come up with some happy medium that would satisfy all parties involved. But no matter how you slice it, no matter how much money that is awarded to the Kowalski family, they still suffer a huge loss. And that's the loss of Maya and Kyle's mother. That's the loss of Jack's wife. And as they're going through this punitive damage phase, I will be sure to give you all the information possible with the judge's final ruling. But for now, again, Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital has been found liable on all counts, on all claims by the Kowalski family. Once again, that includes the false imprisonment of Maya Kowalski, battery of Maya Kowalski, fraudulent billing of Jack Kowalski, inflicting emotional distress on Beata Kowalski, a wrongful death claim for the estate of Beata Kowalski, and intentionally inflicting emotional distress on Maya Kowalski. Baby Kisses says, "Oh dang, I hope they get the 22 million they were after to start with. At one point in time, a life was worth $1 million. You're right about that. You're right about that, baby kisses. From what I heard, they were originally suing for 55 million in actual damages and 160 something million more in punitive damages. So either way you slice it, no matter how, again, I say, no matter how much money that family is awarded, it's not gonna bring Beata back. And that's what really stings at this point. As the verdict, I was watching as the verdict was being read, I was looking at how Maya and Kyle broke down in tears, and it is it was just so heart wrenching. Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, sorry, that's amazing. It doesn't bring Mama home. You're right, it doesn't. It doesn't. That's why I feel so bad for the family that they had to go through this. No hospital should have to no hospital should be able to treat their patients like that. I don't care what the patient is being diagnosed with. Their job, should they choose to accept it, is to care for the patient and, above all else, do no harm. That's the in this viewer's opinion, that's the one rule Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital broke. Do no harm. Not to the patient, not to the patient's family. They did that, and I pray they pay. I'll bring more information on this case as the punitive damages phase continues, and I'll hopefully have a full report this weekend. BETHEA'S BYTE Reloaded. Till then, Ernest Bethea, the Last Outlaw, thank you so much for joining me. This has been Verdict Watch. For more information on all you've seen here, be sure to follow BETHEA'S BYTE Reloaded all over social media. This has been Verdict Watch from BETHEA'S BYTE Reloaded.